Scroll through any social media feed today, and it looks like everyone has cracked the code to becoming rich. Designer bags casually tossed on beds, exotic vacation posts every other week, luxury cars parked in perfectly lit driveways. The message seems clear: financial success has never been easier to achieve. But behind those carefully curated posts lies a truth that most people never see, one that involves maxed out credit cards, rented props, and an entire industry built on making ordinary people look extraordinarily wealthy. What if the financial success stories flooding social media feeds are actually one of the biggest illusions of the digital age? The carefully constructed world of fake prosperity, social media has created a strange new economy where appearing rich matters more than actually being rich. In cities like Los Angeles, an entire rental infrastructure exists purely to help content creators fake wealth. Empty luxury brand shopping bags sell on platforms for the sole purpose of being photographed. Mansions can be rented by the hour for background shots. Even private jet interiors are available as photo studios, allowing influencers to snap pictures that suggest a lifestyle completely disconnected from their actual bank accounts. Some creators rent designer clothes, photograph themselves wearing the items, then immediately return them for a refund. The entire performance costs a fraction of what the lifestyle would actually require. This phenomenon extends far beyond props and locations. Many influencers operate in a state of financial precarity while projecting images of abundance. Research shows that roughly half of all social media influencers earned $15,000 or less in recent years. Only a small fraction made six-figure incomes. Yet the content these creators produce rarely reflects their actual financial situations. Instead, they participate in what experts call performance wealth, creating an aspirational fantasy that bears little resemblance to reality. The psychology driving this behavior runs deep. Status anxiety fuels much of the fake wealth presentation. People fear being judged as less successful than their peers, so they use material possessions as visible proof of achievement. Social validation becomes tied to curated images rather than genuine accomplishment. The rental economy has weaponized natural human optimism and desire for upward mobility. When followers see someone their own age appearing to live lavishly, the lifestyle feels achievable rather than impossible. This creates a dangerous feedback loop where both creators and audiences become trapped in maintaining illusions. Young people especially fall victim to these manufactured narratives. Surveys indicate that substantial portions of new investors now use social media to research investment ideas, with many trusting advice from influencers and celebrities despite having no credentials or qualifications. The famous example involved certain individuals accumulating tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, trying to mimic the carefree influencer lifestyle they saw dominating platforms. One creator admitted to increasing credit limits just to buy festival tickets, arriving at events with no spending money and surviving on free hotel lobby fruit while projecting images of luxury and ease. The hidden debt behind the highlight reel. The financial reality behind social media success stories often involves crushing debt and constant financial stress. Multiple influencers have publicly shared stories of draining bank accounts repeatedly, taking on five-figure credit card debt, and living in states of persistent financial anxiety while their feeds suggested effortless prosperity. The pressure to maintain appearances becomes overwhelming. Creators feel compelled to project interesting lifestyles to stay relevant, even when doing so requires financial choices that undermine their actual well-being. Industry insiders estimate that a significant majority of influencers who engage in heavy lifestyle faking eventually burn out or accumulate serious debt. Real cases illustrate the consequences. Some high-profile creators have revealed being hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt from trying to maintain fake wealthy lifestyles, losing massive portions of their followings when the truth emerged. The revelation destroyed credibility they had spent years building. Yet the cycle continues because the internet rewards performance over authenticity. Algorithms prioritize content that appears aspirational and aesthetic regardless of whether it reflects genuine financial security. The more luxurious life appears, the more engagement content receives. This creates economic incentives for deception that prove difficult to resist. The fake wealth industry has expanded into a multi-billion-dollar phenomenon. Beyond individual creators, entire businesses now exist to facilitate wealth performance. Services Photoshop people into exotic locations. Companies create fake private jet experiences for minimal fees. Consultants teach influencers how to look rich on limited budgets. Even debt resolution companies have emerged specifically targeting influencers who went into debt-maintaining appearances. This ecosystem reveals how performance has become inseparable from perceived legitimacy in digital spaces. Many creators believe they must appear wealthy to be taken seriously by brands, other influencers, and potential audiences. Without visible markers of success, opportunities for sponsorships and collaborations seem to disappear. The impact extends beyond individual creators to broader society. Local businesses often get exploited, providing free products or services to influencers with largely fake followings built on purchased engagement and bot accounts. Young people uproot their lives, skip educational opportunities, and sacrifice real prospects chasing influencer dreams based on manufactured success stories. The comparison trap becomes inescapable. People scroll through feeds feeling inadequate, unaware that the lifestyles they envy exist only in carefully staged photographs. Financial anxiety spreads as individuals try matching spending patterns that nobody can actually afford. Studies show substantial percentages of millennials believe they lag behind financial goals, while assuming friends are doing better financially. Much of this perception stems from curated social media presentations that bear no relationship to actual circumstances. Understanding what genuine financial success actually requires, real financial success looks dramatically different from social media portrayals. Truly wealthy individuals rarely feel compelled to broadcast every purchase or experience. They understand money's actual value and make deliberate choices about spending and saving. Quiet confidence replaces constant performance. The genuinely successful focus on building sustainable income streams rather than temporary appearances. They diversify revenue sources, develop comprehensive personal brands beyond social media, and invest in financial education. Many work with advisors who understand irregular income patterns and help create stability amid uncertainty. Authentic financial influencers exist, offering legitimate guidance on budgeting, debt management, and investing. These creators distinguish themselves through transparency about their own financial journeys, proper credentials, and honest discussions of risks alongside opportunities. They build trust by acknowledging limitations rather than projecting false expertise. Regulatory bodies have begun paying attention to financial content on social media. Warnings have been issued to creators providing unlicensed advice or making misleading claims. High-profile cases involving celebrities promoting investments without proper disclosure have resulted in significant settlements. The landscape continues evolving as authorities recognize potential harms. For everyday social media users, protecting financial well-being requires critical evaluation of content sources. Questions to consider include whether creators have relevant qualifications, what incentives they might have for promoting particular products, and whether risks are honestly presented alongside potential benefits. Licensed professionals with fiduciary responsibilities offer accountability that unregulated influencers cannot provide. The shift toward authenticity has begun gaining momentum. Some creators now embrace transparency about financial struggles, budgets, and realistic journeys toward stability. This content performs surprisingly well, suggesting audience appetite for genuine experiences over manufactured perfection. Relatability increasingly competes with aspiration as algorithms evolve and cultural fatigue with obvious performance grows. The truth about financial success on social media is that most of what appears to be success is actually skilled performance. The designer lifestyle exists for photographs, not daily life. The exotic vacations accumulate debt rather than wealth. The confident financial advice often comes from people with no expertise or accountability. Real prosperity builds slowly through consistent effort, education, and sustainable choices rather than viral moments and rented luxury. The most valuable financial decision anyone can make might be recognizing that comparing personal circumstances to curated social media content is fundamentally irrational. Those highlight reels reflect neither financial reality nor paths to genuine security. Behind the filters and staging, Most creators struggle with the same financial challenges as everyone else. They simply hide those struggles more effectively. True financial success requires breaking free from performance pressure and focusing on building actual stability rather than its appearance. That journey rarely makes compelling content, but it leads somewhere real.